Hello, welcome back to my channel. Antoinette here. So we have the Total Tarot episodes 8 and 9 freshly arrived through the letterbox. And what better thing to do than to have a quick look through. So we have my binder ready to put everything in, which is where I have all my other editions, prints, copies, magazines. I can never work out what we call these. I have cards, 2 of Swords and 2 of Pentacles, to add to my collection of the Art Golden Nouveau Tarot. And these ones, I have to say, have arrived in better condition. The ones that arrived last month for me ended up behind a deck and they had some dents in them from the deck. So it's nothing a hard book's not going to iron out, but the point is I have to do that and go through that issue. Nonetheless, these ones are in much better condition. They were better wrapped this time, so I'm very pleased with those. So we have those ones to go into my collection. We have the tuck box for the deck that's come with these 2 magazines, and in case you hadn't worked out, it is the Marseilles Tarot. My first actual official colourway Marseille. Have to admit, I've never been a fan of this particular bunch of primary colours, so we shall see how this goes for me. So I have my tuck box. This journal, which was promised let me see, 7, 6, maybe it might have been editions 5 and 4. This journal should have arrived, but due to shipping and just generally making things, anyone who's a tarot collector knows that for Europe, where it came to making decks and getting them printed, especially via Lo Scarabeo, there have been hold-ups from around the world for printing and shipping. So these got stuck basically somewhere in transit and production before they made it to Lo Scarabeo and then across to Total Tarot. And of course they have also been made specially for Total Tarot because it has this on the back of them. But I know that Lo Scarabeo did have some journals like this prior to that. So there's a few reasons why they've been held up in transit. Quality wise, papers, probably your normal average A4 paper, maybe 80 GSM. Maybe or 70 GSM, definitely not any thicker than that. So you wouldn't want to be using thick pens on these or liners. It's going to bleed through. This is probably a ballpoint pen type and pencil type of journal. So they're blank pages, they're white ones, so you can do whatever you want in their doodle journal, right? But it's a very nice A5 journal that's come, and it obviously has some of the cards, images that you get from the Lo Scarabeo decks. Can't remember off the top of my head which deck this one is, but I know it's on their books as well that you can collect from them from their website. So there's the journal and the decks. We have the deck, as always, comes in 2 parts, so one would come with each magazine if you're buying that in the shop. And I have broke the seal because my eyesight is terrible, having spent the weekend on call looking at computers. To make this all go a bit faster for you. So there's my deck. Let's take a quick look at the deck, shall we? A little bit different to my normal order. Let's zoom down for this one. Coming a bit closer. So we have Lo Scarabeo card, the backs are different, aren't they? Reminds me of some kind of 70s wallpaper or dinner plates. I don't know if I like that or not, to be honest, but I suppose it doesn't matter if I like it. It's what comes with the deck. Okay, so here we have the Fool, and he is wearing, I think these must be nude coloured tights, looking at that. So he must be wearing a nude colour legging or tight, and that must be his undercrackers being exposed there by the dog, because I know there is a deck whereby that is actually naked flesh that you see there. And interestingly on this one, the bells on his shoulder look like little eyes. Well, it looks like a little monster really, doesn't it, with a tongue hanging out, but it's his arm. And again, that looks like it's a nude suit with a red band on the end. Interesting. So there's our Fool. Magician. We have the Papes for the High Priestess. There's our Empress, Emperor. Le Pape for the Hierophant. So Lovers, Chariot. Justice for card 8 instead of Strength, which is correct for Marseille. There's our Hermit. Wheel of Fortune with little blue, I don't know, what do we call those, gremlins? Strength, card 11. Hanged One. There's our, it's quite a classic death card there. There's our Temperance. Devil. Tower. Classic Star. Oh, Marjorie's about to join us. The Moon. Sun. Judgment. And there's our World. So we've noticed that the titles are in French. We have our Ace. Or 2. That's got Lo Scarabeo on it there. And we have our 3 of Cups, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have our Page, Knight, oops, Queen, and King. King Roy. Pentacles, these are quite nice and big. That's very classic to a Pentacles, where they put the dates on. So this is a 2019 version. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you might have noticed, or for those of you who aren't aware, this is actually missing the numericals. So with the backs that way, it doesn't matter which way it's up or down. We have the Valet, or your Page again, your Knight, your Queen, and we have another King Roy. Here's our Wands. And here we have some numbers either side. Let's go back and check that now. Is it just the 10s where the number was missing? Is that the first one I noticed? No, it's all the way through that deck. I'm just curious now. So yeah, no numbers at all on the Pentacles. Let's have a look. Here we have our Page, Knight, Queen, King Roy the Third, Swords. These have numbers on as well. I like the curved swords. Prefer them to the straight ones. These are numbered all the way through. Just lift these up a minute, it's easier for me. And there's our 4th King Roy. And there we have the Marseilles Tarot card. Lo Scarabeo. To go with that one. I'm just plain curious. Yeah, the numbers were on the cups. Isn't that interesting? So it's just the Pentacles that have no numbers. I wonder why that is. If you know, then please do drop a line in the comments and let me know so I can find out. These are quite good quality. These actually feel, they've got a nice finish to the card, like a nice semi-sheen, nice gloss. And they definitely, they're slippy. They move well, is what I can say about these cards. For anyone who's worried about how they go. No, I don't bend my decks. Yeah, They have a very nice shuffle to them. I'm guessing they're going to bridge, for those of you who like to riffle and bridge, probably nicely. They're not thick at all. I think that's a good deck. They've got a very nice, yeah. They've got a slightly different coating than the Harmonious Tarot had, I think. Let's put those into there. So there we go. That's the cards that come with the deck. Let's take a look at the mags. Bring you back out a bit. A bit more. Okay, so let's take a look at episode 8. Hopefully we've got you fully in screen. What do we have then? We have some self-reading techniques. What do we have? Calculate a daily major card by adding up all the digits in a date, e.g. 10th September 2023. You can find the major arcana card for that day. So it'd be expressed as 10 plus 9 plus 20 plus 23, 62. There are no major cards number 62. We then add 6 and 2 to give us 8. So the major arcana for that chosen date would be Strength card, or the 8. However, if we're talking about Marseille, we're talking about the Justice card, card 8. So this is obviously relating to the study deck that they gave us right at the start. What do we have here? The Universal Celtic Tarot. This must be a deck coming our way then, I guess, if they're giving us lots of cards. Collect the Universal Celtic Tarot with parts 16 and 17. There we go. There's a hint at something to come. That one does look nice, doesn't it? We have some bits in here. What do we have here? Subjective view. The way a reader interprets a card, like the Emperor, may relate to how they feel about male authority figures. Positive and light. The bright romantic cards of the Universal Celtic Tarot may help you to see positives in a reading for yourself. And of course, that's something that many of us do experience when we're using various decks and cards. Not every deck we would use for reading for other people, but many decks we'd use for ourselves to get different to evoke different feelings and responses within us, because it's easier to get those readings for ourselves by using decks specifically to do so. Saying that, I don't do that often. I tend to use my favourites most of my life, but yeah. Now here we have our card in detail. So we are going with the Chariot for card 7. I've got a few symbols here that's been listed out down the side. And we have a nice little saying, I am the essence of knowing what you want and reaching out for it. We have the thematics of the card here, what the card says. So there's another great little conversation starter. We have the Visconti, Marseille and the Pictorial Key comparisons. And we have the card reversal here. Further exploration, reading up on inciting action, triumph of spirit, goal setting and voyage. To know more about the Chariot card. And then other versions. So we have the Spiritual Material Evolution, the Harmonious Tarot, which of course we already have, and that is a beautiful deck to use, very gentle. We have, I don't know which one this is. Hang on a minute, there it is. It's the Lo Scarabeo Tarot, that's the deck. That's the deck that's on the journal. Here we have the Shaman Tarot. We have the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot due to come with parts 10 and 11, so that's next month. We have our Tarot of the Pagan Cats, the Manga Tarot, and the Thelema Tarot, which I think I keep calling Thelma, but Thelema. And here we have a Marseille mystery spread, so I will be trying this out. This is some of my favourite bits about these magazines are the spreads. I do like to try a spread. It doesn't mean I'm going to use it for everyone else, but I do like to have them in my journal because in case you hadn't spotted from my journal content, I do a lot of journaling and I like to show my journals to inspire others to do this, simply because it connects you to the cards. It just connects you to yourself, your soul, the earth, the atmosphere, whatever you want to connect to, and answering the questions and helping to dive a bit deeper and to getting to know yourself. I think it's a fantastic tool for self-development. And we have an example reading there for the newbies to help them understand the cards. So it's got some examples. And then we have our visual for the Tarot Marseille. We have keywords here. So the Fool, enthusiasm, freedom, adventure, madness. We have some numerical meanings over here. We have our minor arcanas, and again we have some keywords. Five of Cups, evolution, changing feelings. And then we have our glossary, so I think it's standard, 19 pages here. We're on to the S and T's. Like I said, I'm quite interested to see what they put back here once they've run out and got to Z. Practice makes perfect. And there we go. So that is book 8. Let's take a quick look at book 9. So obviously the other half of the deck came with this one. Reading the tarot and tarot symbols. Here's our tip. Bear in mind, symbolism will vary from one deck to another, though some symbols are consistent throughout tarot. This is true. Now, not every reader agrees with this. I don't have a hard and fast rule either way. I do like to have, I have particular keywords and things that work with my decks for me, and then I get more from the visual of the card. So some decks, the cards don't match the meaning or the standard meaning or a Marseille meaning or a Marseille image or Rider-Waite-Smith image. And I don't mind that because the picture will give me something else completely to go alongside my meaning and then to elaborate on it and to take the reading in a different direction. And that's what I mean when I talked about decks that change, that go deeper, that look for different things. A good example might be the Guardian Tarot, which is an absolutely stunning deck. And that one just kind of, I can't put my finger on it because I'm no good at expressing it verbally, but it just pulls something else and it just seems to go a bit deeper, a bit more psyche related than like daily adventures. So it's more about what's going on inside. If I'm missing something and I'm feeling a little bit low or disillusioned, that might be the deck that I'd pull out to look at what's going on around me and see if it can like poke at some of my problems, make me see them for what they're worth. Anyway, moving on, we have here, so we've got basic symbolism in here. Jumpstart your practice. So dive into the world of symbols by performing a reading based on the different types of symbols we've described in this article. So without going through everything in here, I can instantly see we've got something here about animal instinct. We've got the elements earth, water, fire, air. We've got flesh and clothing being mentioned. The symbolic tarot worth, which will also be coming up in the collection. So that's interesting. Sharp wits, objects and objectives. So there's a few things in here to read to help spark what you see in the cards. And here we have card 8, strength. So we are moving along with the study deck again. So back to card 8 being strength rather than the Marseille version. And we have again thematics, further exploration for the strength card, virtue of fortitude. Look up the Nemean lion, the cardinal virtues, and Hercules, if you'd like to dig a bit deeper. And then we have our Lo Scarabeo deck, Nefertiti's Tarot, Pagan Tarot, Thelema, Tarot of the Pagan Cats, the Harmonious, Shaman, and Universal Fantasy Tarot. And here we have the Marseille Mystery Spread 2. So what do we have here? In the second part of our guide to this spread, we take a closer look at what the cards might mean. Okay. So let's quickly dig back into this one. So here's the spread. Here's your questions. Here's the one that they've laid out for us. They've put the cards down. And then here they go into this spread. So they break it down here for you. what do we have here? Variations. You can try out this variant of the Marseille mystery spread at the end of the interpretation. When you come to the synthesis, add 2 more cards and look at them with the querent. Okay. What do you need to know? So cards 7 and 8. So once you've summed up your reading, 2 cards there. Obstacles that haven't been seen and forms of help that remain hidden for 7 and 8 to help add to that spread and just to get a final kind of clarification on your summing up. That's nice. Good tip. Tarot techniques. What should I do? So we'll have a look, and then we have the pre-Raphaelite tarot. So this is going to be an interesting one for me. Let's see how I do with that. There's lots of naked bodies and flesh in there. I'm not a big fan of... what did my friend Diane say? We don't need to see the groceries in order to read the cards. So, not that we're complete prudes, but there are certain things you don't need, isn't there, in order to tell a story. Here we have the World of Tarot, so we have some tarot history. That's really nice. The oldest known tarot deck in the world is Visconti Sforza, which was created as a card game in the 15th century to celebrate the union of 2 powerful Italian families. And that's that golden Visconti that I have a few decks of. And then we have the glossary. That's a nice tower card, isn't it? Doesn't tell me where it's come from. I wonder if that's pre-Raphaelite or something. It has that sort of look to it, but that'll be an interesting one to see the rest of that deck. And then practice makes perfect over here. Discover techniques for answering big questions. And then we have parts 10 and 11 to look forward to. Well, there you go, my friends. I hope you've enjoyed that, looking through. If there's anything else that you'd maybe like to see in there, then please do drop me a line and let me know. And I will see if I can oblige. If you do have this, how are you finding it? That's the big question, isn't it? The big ask for everyone. I have... there we go. I pre-put my hooks in for anyone that's watching, wondering what is she doing. So I put them in advance because that's how I work. That's how I roll. So there we go. That one's in. Just get that one in. So yeah, if there's anything else that you want to see, let me know and I will try to oblige. But otherwise, take care. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.